Okay, so last time we looked at a strong acid titrating, a strong acid titrated with a strong base. And now we're going to take a weak acid. So this is acetic acid, otherwise known as vinegar. And I have 20 milliliters of the acetic acid in here now. Okay, so I took my burette, I rinsed it with the new base. It's still sodium hydroxide, but it's a different concentration. We're going to try to figure out, well, the sodium hydroxide is now 0.10 molar. Okay, so it's 0.10 molar sodium hydroxide, and I'm titrating an unknown concentration of a weak base, 20 milliliters of that. It's just kind of stirring in here right now. And what I'm going to do is do the same thing. We're going to take a look at this. So the pH, if you notice, the pH it's a lot higher than the strong acid. And so make a note of that, 3.44, that's my starting pH. And I am not going to put indicator in this time, because last time the indicator and the endpoint are about the same. However, when you titrate a weak acid with a strong base, then it's a little different. It is, what happens is you'll see that the endpoint and the point at which the indicator changes are not the same. So I'm not going to put an indicator in this time. I'm going to go ahead and start titrating here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit record data. There we go. And we'll see what happens. So my starting volume now is, let's see here, 17.5 milliliters. I know it's not ideal to start at a half milliliter, but sometimes we do that. 17.5 milliliters. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to probably put it at a nice number to get started here. Okay, so 18 milliliters. I need a step stool. I'm like on my tippy toes. 19 milliliters. What do you notice at the start of this curve compared to the other curve? So immediately you should notice something happening. Compared to the other curve, we had something totally different, all right? So the shape of it is what you want to be looking at. Okay. 20 milliliters, we can see that it's something is happening even here now. But the shape is definitely different than last time. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding 2 milliliters at a time because it looks like it's kind of leveling off. 4. And what I want you to be thinking about a lot later on is what is in the beaker as we're titrating this. What's going on with what species, as we say in chemistry, what species are in the beaker while this is happening? Because it's different from strong acid, strong base. Okay, now we start seeing a little bit of a shift here. I'm going to slow it down just a hair. Let's see what's happening. 46. Okay, so maybe it's not shifting, so I'm going to keep going by 2s. Well, okay, now we got a much bigger change. So 50, I am in a little bit over, so 50.2. Okay, so I'm going to really slow it down now. Let's make sure I don't. So what we want to do is look for when it's, where is the end point? Where is it really? We saw that slope upward point, right? So at 51 now. Where does it really slope upwards and have that end point, the sharp curve? Okay, you can see it's starting to go up a little bit now. Okay, I'm gonna really slow it down now. 55.4, 56, 56.4, 56.8. Okay, so what do we notice here? And we're at past 7 now, but have we reached the steepest point yet? That's kind of the question. Is where does the end point get hit? So 57.2. Okay, so it's starting to go up a lot more. 57.8. Okay, and so we're if you notice where that steep point is happening, because it's a little different from when I have a strong acid, strong base. 58.0. Okay, so where does that happen? Does it happen at 7? Or does it happen below 7 or above 7? Why might that be? 58.2. 58.4. Tension is unbearable. It's too much to handle. I don't know. Too early in the morning for this. I got up when it was dark. Start titrating this because nothing gets me going like a good titration. Here we go. 58.6. Now we can see it's starting to level out a little bit. I'm at 60. So now we're definitely past the end point. And you can see kind of in this region here. Let's see if I can annotate this. Draw. Yeah, like right around here, right? Right around in this area is where it's the steepest part. So like this part, you kind of want to get in the middle part of this, and we're looking like right around in this area here. And so where is that on the graph? The graph is, this is 5, 6, 7, 8. It is above 7, looks like. And so why is that? That's kind of the big question, is what's going on there? What is in the beaker to cause that? Okay, so look at this shape of the graph and see how is it similar or different from when we had the strong acid, strong base, and where does it, at what point does it reach that end point? We're gonna do some calculations with it, figure out what the pH is at that point. We're gonna look at something called the half equivalence point, determine what the molarity of the acid is. And kind of think about why does this happen this way? Okay. Have a good one.